Welcome to Google Sheets training for everyone. This is lesson 20. We are nearing the end of the series. We've basically covered all of the simple stuff, and I'm just going to introduce you to a few of the things that aren't really quote-unquote beginner, but also aren't too complicated. I want to introduce you to them so you can pursue them on your own if you want to. Because again, trial and error, remembering you can't break a Google Sheet, so you can just try stuff, play with it, and learn. So today we're going to talk about charts and graphs, and then I'm going to show you just a really quick tip about inserting pictures into your spreadsheets if you so choose. So let's get right to it. Before we do, I want to remind you in the bottom right-hand corner of the video, there is a little settings wheel cog, and you can click that. And you can, first of all, make sure you're watching this video in high definition because you'll want to be able to see everything clearly. And then secondly, if you want things to move a little bit faster, then you can also speed it up and watch it at a much faster pace than the normal pace. So don't forget that that is there. Also, don't forget there is a link in the description below to all the practice documents. I covered earlier in one of the earlier lessons how to download those if you don't know how to do it yourself. But the link is there to that folder where you can make a copy of them into your own Google Drive so that you can practice, because that's how you're going to learn is practice, 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 and probably rewatching. So anyway, let's get started. I'm going to disappear, and we're going to go over to our Google Spreadsheet, practice spreadsheet lessons, and we're going to talk about basic charts and graphs. So we have this nice little table that we color-coded in one of our last lessons. We learned how to do that. And what if we want to make a chart? A lot of times charts are really good to visually represent something. I can't talk this morning. Especially if you're going to put it into something else. So maybe this is your raw info and you need to make a presentation to, I don't know, the PTA or some group to show them how much the total cost is versus how much money has been received so far or not received so far, as the case may be. And so you need a visual representation. You don't just want to use this table, you want a chart that shows them. So one thing you can do is you can highlight this chart, and then you just go to insert, and you go, highlight this table is what I meant to say. We're going to insert a chart. You go to insert, and then you click chart. And then in the background, Google takes all the information from that chart, and it makes, from that table, it makes a nice little chart. So in this chart, you can see the total amount of money you've received towards each thing versus the actual cost. And that includes, because we have a total on there, that includes a total. So that's really great because now you can see the total you've received is far less than the total that is owed. And so that's how you do that. Now once you do that, you see over here on the right, you got this little chart editor that pops up. It allows you to manipulate the chart. We're not going to cover this in detail, and this is the kind of thing you can try all different kinds of things, but this is just basically you can manipulate or change what's being used or how it's being used. What I want to show you is just changing the chart type, so you can very easily and quickly change from a horizontal to a vertical. You can customize stuff. So if you want to customize the style, you want to change the background color, you can change the background color. Ooh, that is bright. The chart border, you can make it three-dimensional if you want to make it three-dimensional. Lots of different things you can do. Compare mode, I don't even know what that does, to be honest with you. There's lots and lots of options here. You can see all the different things. You can change the legend. So you can see right now the legend is up here at the top. You can change it though if you want it at the bottom. You can put it at the bottom. Now the legend's at the bottom. You can really change all that stuff. You can go to the title if you want to name this something that's more appropriate. Then you can rename it. Then you can make it bold to make that title stand out. You can center it if you want to center it. So you have a lot of control over exactly how this chart looks once you have it. Again, setup is where you're choosing how it's comparing stuff. And depending on how complex or simple your information is, this can get really complicated. And that's why I said this could be considered an advanced topic, but for very simple tables where you just have basic information, this is something you should be able to use right now without any issue. So that's an example of that chart. Let's jump over to a different tab. This is where we had our food, and we don't have a lot on here, but still we have 3 things and we have numbers, how much of each one. So I'm highlighting that, and then I'm clicking insert and chart, and you see by default it just went with a bar chart, probably because that's what we had before. But for this one, I think pie chart is appropriate. Kind of shows you the percentage of each that you have, and you can again change information around. You can customize this, so we can go over here and we can say we want a slice, so we can go percentage. We can put that in there. Can go over to each one and change the color if we want to. Maybe we want apples to be red, and let's see, and then we want oranges to be orange. Bananas already are kind of yellow, but let's just say we want bananas to be a more true yellow. So now we have colors representative of the fruit. You know, different things you can do. You could also call one out if you wanted to make a point that bananas make up a low percentage and you need more of them. Then you can call that out. You can resize this. Let's see. You can inside of this. You see you can easily sort of manipulate the actual chart itself. If you drag over stuff, you can. Some things you just kind of have to play with, to be honest with you. This is the title up here, which doesn't have a title. You can give it a title if you want to. Here in customize, you can see there's no title right now, so you can say percentage of food. All different kinds of things you can do to this to manipulate it. And you see that's a pie chart. So there you have that. Now let's go to funds. Now this is something interesting I want to show you. If you want to, you can highlight just 2 columns in a table and make a chart out of that. So let's say I don't care about the amount paid. I just want to make a chart out of this column. And then I'm going to choose a second column. The way you select multiple things always in Windows is you hold down the control button. So I'm going to hold the control button down while I click and highlight this. So you see now both of these columns are highlighted. So when I say insert chart, it's going to insert a chart based solely on the 2 highlighted columns. So you can see amount owed versus name. And from each person you can see approximately how much they owe. So you could see really quickly that Sally and Debbie owe nothing, whereas John and Joe still owe a lot. And again, you can change this chart. You can have it look any way you want it to look. There are the suggested charts are going to be at the top here, the ones that it thinks is most appropriate for the information. But you do have the option to come down here and use any type of charts that are available. And there's a lot of different charts that are available, as you can see. Different types of pie charts, different types of bar charts, different types of line charts. Some of them wouldn't make any sense for different things. You know, like that line chart doesn't really give you, for this type of thing, doesn't really give you the information you need. So for this simple type of chart, you're probably going to use a bar chart. But you can nail down, once you've done this, you can customize, you can change colors. Again, you can make it 3D if you want to make it 3D. You can change the title. You can change the font, the amount owed. You can say, you know, I don't like that color. Let's go with purple for that. Make it purple. Lots of different things that you can do. You can change the legend, the horizontal axis. You can change pretty much everything. Even the grid lines. You can change the grid line colors. If you want the grid line colors to be brown, you can make them that brown color, so you can see that color change. So really easy. And again, what we did is we clicked and dragged down to highlight the first column, and then I held down my control key while I clicked and dragged down. I don't know if it's a drug or dragged. I think it's dragged down to highlight just these two columns. So this middle column is not part of this chart. Only the two columns that are highlighted. So it's really cool that you can choose specific information inside of your chart. And as long as Google can understand the relationship behind them, it will try to create a chart for you. Now setup is where you can change. You can see that it decided that the x-axis was going to be the name and the series is going to be amount owed. And you can change these things. You can change them and make them what you want them to be, but that's changing how the whole chart works. And that's a little bit more of an advanced thing. But you can play with that if you want to. What I wanted to show you is just how easy it is to create a very simple chart based on the information that is in a table and get the chart that you need that can be used. And this can be useful. You can copy this inside of the chart there in the top right hand corner. When you click to select it, you'll see these little 3 menu ellipses in the top right. You click on that. It allows you to delete it. It allows you to download it either as an image or a PDF. So you could download this as an image to then use inside another software if you wanted to. Publish a chart, we're not going to talk about that so much. Copy it. If you wanted to copy it, you could then paste it either into another sheet or into like a Google Doc document if you're working on a document and you want to put this chart in there representing information. Or move to on sheet if you want to move this out of being on this sheet into another sheet. Another cool thing about this, let's go over to food. This will be best represented here. If I go here and I change bananas to say we got 30 bananas and hit enter, you can see the chart adjusts because now bananas make up 50%. So that's changed everything. So this is the charts that you insert are going to be dynamic inside of the sheet that they're connected to. It is directly connected to that information. So if that information changes, if suddenly everyone paid for their motel fee, so you had $1,000, then you would see now motel are the same because they're all paid up. You're still a little bit short of your full budget, as you can see at the bottom under the total, but the motel is the same because those are paid. So once you insert this chart, as you change information in the table that it's connected to, the chart adjusts based on that new information. So very cool, simple, easy way to make good looking charts to use to present your data. So that's pretty much it for charts. Of course, you can get a lot more advanced, but that's simple charts, and that's what I wanted to show you is simple charts. The other thing I wanted to point out, and this is just kind of something I want to show you that is possible, and we're just going to go to this random sheet that I use to do all kinds of stuff, and that's that you can insert pictures into your Excel sheets. So let's say maybe you're making up, a database about movies, and you want to insert a picture of movie posters. You could do that. For this, I'm going to say I used to have a NFC tag business that I ran. I'm not going to explain what that is to you because it doesn't matter, but I'm going to insert a picture. Let's say I was trying to keep track of how many I had of each of my tags, and I wanted to not just use the name of them, I wanted to use a picture. So here, this is going to be the keychain. So I go insert, and I'm going to say image, and you say image in cell. And this is, as you can see, fairly new. You click that. You can upload something from your computer. You can grab something from the camera attached to your computer. You can use the URL if you have a URL of a photo. You can select photos, and that is Google Photos, any photos you have in Google Photos, and here's my keychain. We'll come back to that. You can also browse your Google Drive folders and browse to a photo in your Drive, or you can do a Google image search for any search online. So if you wanted to do a search online, you can do a search online. For this one, we're going to go to Photos, and I'm going to use this keychain, and I'm going to click it, and I'm going to say Insert, and it will insert that photo into the cell. Now it doesn't change the size of the cell because it doesn't know how big or small you want it to be. So it just by default leaves it, has it fill the cell, and then you can adjust the size of the cell. The photo will adjust accordingly. And then I can say NFC keychain, just for a table, and I'd say maybe I have 220 of those in stock. But this way now I have a visual representation of that. Just for kicks, let's do another one. Insert, and I'm going to say image, and I'm going to say image and cell. This time I'm going to go to Google Image Search, and I'm going to say NFC tag. No, let's see. Anti tags. Didn't find anything, which doesn't surprise me too much. But let's just say NFC tag. So here's NFC tags. So let's just pick a random image. We'll pick this image here, and we'll say insert. And now Google inserted that into the next photo. And so if that were another tag, I could say NFC sticker basic. And I want this to wrap. If you remember, we talked about that in past lessons. So I'm going to say wrap, NFC sticker basic, and I have 430 of those on hand. So you see, you can easily insert a picture. So that's it for this lesson. I just wanted to show you that it is possible to insert pictures into your cells. If that helps for what you're doing, for the task at hand, what you're using your spreadsheet for, you can have visual representations by inserting photos. So that's kind of a cool thing. And also show you that you can quite easily, at least with simple data, basic data, it's quite easy to insert those charts based on a table. And also change the colors and change information by just using the Google help. And then also know that they are dynamically connected to your info. So as you change your info, the chart will change accordingly. So it's a good way to be able to get nice, simple visual representations that you can, not only have on your sheet, but usually most importantly that you can then copy and paste or download and then paste into a document or a presentation that you're making to show that information to other people. So that's going to be it for this lesson. Hopefully you found that helpful and kind of cool. Like I said, we're kind of done with the basics of spreadsheets because we're not going into advanced things, but there are just a few things I wanted to cover before I wrap up, things that you can, that even though you may not be at an advanced level, they're fairly simple things that will also come in really handy. So that's what I'm doing in these last few lessons. So hopefully you understand that concept for just inserting charts based on the information in your table, as well as inserting photographs if you want to enhance your spreadsheet. If you have any questions about anything I covered today, feel free to post it down in the comments below. I will do my best to get back to you and try to answer your question if I can, or maybe someone else will see it and answer as well, and we can all work together to help each other out. Don't forget to click that like button. I really appreciate it. If you get anything out of this lesson, don't forget to favorite this playlist to just keep up with all these videos and keep this playlist available to you. And go ahead and subscribe to my channel. You can keep up with all my videos and check out some of the other things I do. A lot of household product reviews and just sometimes fun vlog stuff and things like that. And yeah, that is going to be it until the next lesson. So have a great day.